Okay, so in the last video we talked about using the bands for distraction to open up the hip joints. In this video we're going to talk about how to release the muscles. Now most of you probably know I'm not a huge fan of stretching. What I like to do instead is try to break up the restrictions within the muscles using lacrosse balls and foam rollers. So, we're going to focus today on the inside, the outside, the top, and the back, basically, of the thigh, trying to release those muscles to open the hips up. So first, we'll use the lacrosse ball for the inner hip and the outer hip. The inner hip's really simple. You're going to start at the knee, work the way up the groin muscles. You're getting in there, finding anything that's tender. Anything that's tender in there, we want to spend a good couple of minutes working back and forth, kind of self-massage, work those knots out, work all the way up. Outer hip, even easier. We're going to sit on that ball, get into the outer hip area, find those knots, move it around until you find them, hold or roll back and forth for a couple minutes on each of those. If it gets to the point where you're not feeling this anymore, just cross that leg over and it'll become much more tender. So, work those areas, try to free those up. For the top and the bottom, I'm going to switch to the foam roller. It's a little bit easier. So, for the quads, you're just laying face down. I can do either both quads at the same time, rolling back and forth, or I can do one quad at a time and work the outer, the middle, the inner part of that thigh. So that's the easy way to get that. Finally, the hamstrings, we just flip around and do the opposite. So now I'm sitting on that foam roller and I'm going to roll back and forth here. Now this one's a little bit easier to do one at a time. Two at a time, not quite enough pressure. You can add a little bit more by crossing the legs over each other, so you get a little bit more weight on top, and then switch and do the other side to get those hamstrings loosened up. So same concept as with the bands. We want to spend about 2 minutes on each area. That way we spend enough time breaking up those restrictions to make long-term changes. That's it for this video.